All right, what's up, y'all? This is Shake and Bake. You guys ready for a real story from Shake and Bake? This is story number 2, okay? The first one was the wetsuit. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And based on your comments where you said, hey, you want to hear some more, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it till you tell me stop. And this next one, okay, you see I got the Ranger memorabilia on, okay, from a long time ago, in my younger days, okay. I went in when I was 18. I spent 4 years with the 3rd and 75th Ranger Battalion in Fort Benning, Georgia, okay. And I won't go into too much stuff, but what I'll tell you is it was a great experience. I'm so glad I did it, served my country, and to those out right now serving the country and those who have, big shout out to you. I want to make sure I say that. So, here we go. Let's do this. So, you see, okay, first of all, let's talk about what I have on. Okay, you see this patrol cap right here? I'll move in a little bit. It says Ranger Sergeant. This was the one I left with. Now, the funny thing about this patrol cap, I want to point out, is you see how it barely fits on my head? So, that used to actually fit on my head. And I don't know if it's because I've just swelled up from multiple bee stings or something, too many Big Macs, but I didn't know your head could get fat on top, but the hat doesn't even go down. But I still love this hat, and it's like 20-something years old. I love this thing. Okay. Now, the shirt. Now, there's another problem going on with the shirt. I can't show you below my rib cage down here because my gut's hanging out. See? This shirt used to be big on me, but as you can see, you see the sleeves. Again, it's probably 50, 60 pounds ago. This was loose on me. Now it is like a girdle. I can barely breathe. I don't even know if I can make it through the story. But hey, man, this is my original Ranger shirt I got after I got my Ranger tab. I was just grabbing like my man boobs there, and so I got to hold on to it. And every once in a while, I'll wear this when I'm running. To get motivated to try to get back in shape. Okay, so there's that. All right, so you got to get the setting. What we're going to talk about today, the story, okay? And this is, again, one of my favorite stories. Now, you can imagine, this is so ingrained in my head. It's such a memory that I can tell exactly the same, verbatim, remember every detail as if it was yesterday. Okay, that's how much of an impact this had. And so go ahead and pull up a chair, or, get your favorite mixed drink, or maybe some iced tea, whatever. And let's do this. Okay, so here it is. So, I went through boot camp. I was infantry. I go through AIT. I go through jump school, right? And, jump school was 3 weeks back then. I don't know what it's like now, but, it's pretty controlled. It was tough, And what happens, you get 5 jumps out, right? You're basically a 5-jump chump, right? But it's controlled. It's fairly safe. They have to do that. Normally it's through the daytime. I think we did 1 night jump, right? So I do that, and I go to pre-ranger, and it's 3 weeks of not too bad, but you got to go through this pre-ranger, and then I find out I'm going to 3rd Ranger Town. I'm like, oh, man, I'm stuck in Fort Benning, Georgia. That's right. I go there, right? And, right away when you go there, back then we wore the jungle fatigues, this kind of color here, right? And the rest of the units wore BDUs. So as soon as I got there, I was a duck. You stick out. It's brutal. And, they want to test you to make sure you can handle it, right? Which makes sense later as I got more into why they do that. Well, my first jump is going to come up with the Ranger Battalion, right? And it happens to be what's called like a mass tactical jump. This is going to be like a training mission up in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, on some undisclosed airfield out in the boonies. Nobody's really using it anymore. And what the mission base is, we're going to jump in a whole battalion and basically seize this airfield, okay? And if I'm not scared now I'm scared. Like, I wanted the first jump to be like at 2 in the afternoon. Maybe we meet for margaritas afterwards, maybe a barbecue on the drop zone. That wasn't going to be the case, okay? So we get all geared up. We go down to the airfield, and we take off for this mission, right? Now, the jump is going to be like at, 1 in the morning. That's what most of my jumps in the range were. There, at night, you don't jump during the day, okay? And I learned that quickly. And jumps from about 800 feet. Your chute's open at maybe 600, and before you know, you're on the ground, right? Scared me every time. I wasn't one of those macho rangers. I had no issue admitting I was scared. I didn't say it, but I was scared. Don't tell anybody. I was scared. So what happens is we're going up, and I had this squad leader. And I swear, I don't know what with these guys, but when I first got there, I mean, they look scary. Just their looks, the sounds they made, just, yeah. I never understand them. So I just always said, yes, Sergeant. So we're flying up there, and this sergeant sitting next to me, which I did not like that. And the whole way he's talking, now let me tell you something, Ranger Baker. That's like he was, I can't remember the time. He was like, I'm tell you, it was country. Let me tell you something, Ranger Baker. You ain't in airborne school anymore. Now, when we get up there to jump this mission, we got one pass only. You hear me? One pass. Yes, Sergeant. I can understand what you're saying. And when we go, this red light stuff, because see when you're jumping, there's a green light to go. It's like the movies. Red light, you don't jump. That's the rule, right? That's what you learn in airborne school. He says, if that red light comes on, you follow my instructions, right? We got one pass this mission. We got to go out. There's bad guys on the ground, and we got to take this airfield. You understand? I'm like, hey, yes, Sergeant. And I said, well, but sorry. And then I was stupid. I said, Sergeant, I learned at airborne school that when it's red, you don't. Wah! He about smacked me in my face, and he said it one more time. No matter what, you hear me? No matter what, you follow my instruction. If I say jump, I don't care if the light's purple. You jump. I said, okay, Sergeant. So now I'm petrified. I'm thinking, what have I got myself into? So we're in this. I think it was what were we in 141? We're jumping off a 141. It's full of special ops jeeps, special ops dirt bikes, which was really cool. It's kind of like I was like in the octagon with Chuck Norris, right? I never seen this stuff. And, they treat the new guy kind of like they don't get too close to you. So it's kind of like you're on your own at first. And, so you kind of get the looks on that. They're watching to see if you're freaking out. And I was trying to keep my, stone cold like face, but I was scared to death. And so we're coming in and we stand up. They're doing the whole deal. And I'm at the end of the stick. I'm like one of the last jumpers in this line. And that Sergeant Psycho, he's on the front. He's the front of it. So I'm about like 12 back, right? Maybe a little farther. I can't remember exactly. Coming in, right? Planes doing this up and down. I'm ready to hurl and puke. And it's probably, like I said, 1 a.m, good illumination. We had a little bit of illumination. The moon was out. And we're getting, 6 minutes. We're doing equipment check, 30 seconds. We're hooked up. Already got the stack line over the arm. It's about go time, right? Door opens up. Let me tell you, if other paratroopers that this, when that door opens up and you hear the roar of those engines, man, the pucker factor. But at the same time, you're pumped, man. You're like, yeah, let's do this. And so we're going in, and door opens up. He's standing at the door. Jump Master's doing their thing, spotting the drop zone. But it's night. They're trying to figure it out. And so he looks. I swear to you, he looks back at me in the stick. Right? He looks back, and he looks back at me and says, "Ranger Baker." No matter what, jump like I told you. And I think it was like he knew in advance. He knew it wasn't going to go right. Something was not going to go right here. And at this point, I'm thinking, I wonder if it's too late to quit. It was too late. It was too late. It was going to happen. So he actually, I now remember, he wasn't going for it. He was up there. He was going to send dudes out. We get the green light. Boom. Dudes are heading out, man. They're jumping out into no man's land. They're going, disappearing. I'm shuffling up, eyeballs wide open. And he turns back. The light turns red. No kidding you. Light turns red. I'm thinking, okay, thank goodness. I get to sit down and miss the whole mission. He turns around and screams, keep going. And what are you going to do, right? I couldn't stay. So we keep going. I'm like 6 deep when the light turns red. So that means we've missed the drop zone. Okay. I'm still going. I'm the last guy. Past my stack line. Out I go. And if you've ever jumped, or maybe you haven't jumped, the analogy I like to use is basically go down the highway about 60, 70 miles an hour, roll the window down, take a little piece of paper, throw it out. Don't actually do it, but you litter. But you get the idea. As soon as it hits that wind, it's gone. Same thing happened. I go out, boom, that wind hits you. Now I'm at 6 jumps. I go out 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. You go from this violent experience to poof, shoot open, quiet, air ruffling through the parachute, right? It's dark, but I can see a little bit. But I'm looking around, and I'm checking, everything's all good. 800 feet, 600 shoots. You got a couple seconds to make a decision what's going to happen here, right? So, and it's a T10. I think it was T10 Bravo, right? I can't remember the acronyms, but it was the one you don't have toggles. You pull on these risers, to try to steer. And my shirt came up there. Hold on, guys. So I'm looking around and I'm looking for the drop zone, and it's not going to be lit up, but you're going to see a little bit of opening it's all wooded. I don't see it. Yeah, ain't no drop zone down there. I'm nowhere near that drop zone. And not only did I go out on the red, but they missed the whole damn drop zone, which is not totally uncommon. Go out, right? It's like World War II. They miss drop zones. It happens, even in training. So I'm looking, I'm thinking, where am I? I see all these twinkly lights. I'm thinking, what is that? Am I like over New York City? I mean, am I over, what's the city like in North Carolina? Raleigh? North Carolina? I mean, where am I? So, as I'm getting closer, I'm thinking, what am I seeing down here? Am I about to land in Times Square? Then I start to see almost like broccoli, the head of broccoli, kind of ruffled a little bit. Like, I think, what is that? And as I get closer, I realize, to my horror, you know what that is? A little ruffling. Couldn't forget the light yet. Trees. Yeah. Woods. Forest. Okay. I got about a second or two to think what to do. And what they teach you in airborne school back then, I don't know what they teach you now, is, when you're coming down, you got your hands on the risers trying to steer these things, is you bring your arms in over your armpits like this, right, to cover any sticks going up in there. And you put your head in, you cover up your face like this. So you got your armpits covered, your face, and you bring your knees up, put your legs together, right? And you're just ready. Basically, think of the movie Rambo, the first where he jumps off that cliff and you're going through the branches. That's what I want you to be thinking about when I describe this, okay? So as I'm coming, I'm getting closer and closer. I can't see any detail. I still see these lights, which I don't understand. And then I hit my first branch, and it's Armageddon. I mean, I'm hitting branches. I flip through my risers. I hear branches breaking. I have a moment for like a 2-inch stick about 10 feet long just to impale me, and I'm stuck. So, that's how they're going to find Shake on his first jump. Basically impaled up in a tree like a pig with an apple in his mouth. It's over, right? Flipping, banging, sticks crashing, nothing. I don't get stabbed, nothing. I was so pumped, right? I didn't even feel anything. And all of a sudden I come to a stop, I stop, and I'm kind of like swinging around, hanging for my risers, but it's pitch black. I can't see. I mean, it's dark in the woods, right? I hear kind of branches breaking above me. I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on? I'm scared to death. I'm making all kinds of whimpering noises, right? I wasn't a macho guy. I mean, I was a ranger, but I wasn't like the macho kind. I just, just did it. So finally all this stops, right? And I'm hanging there and it's pitch black. I'm thinking, now what, right? But, back to training. They do a great job of training you. So what they teach is to take your helmet off, right? And you drop this helmet and you count 1001, 1002. And based on how long it takes before you hear it hit, gives you an idea of how high you are, right? Now, let me describe what I got on, first of all. I got a big ammo case on my side with a saw machine gun, heavy as hell, hanging on me. I got my rucksack, another 50, 60, 70 pounds on the front of me because I never got it lowered. Got my reserve, right? And that's me hanging there, right? So I dropped my helmet. I'm like 1001, 1002. I was really hoping to hear it at 1001. I never heard it hit. Never heard it hit. Okay? Now I about threw up. As soon as that happened and I didn't hear it hit, I stopped moving. I thought, oh my God, I'm hundreds of feet in the air. I mean, we're talking big pine trees, right? I think I'm dead. So I'm hanging there, and basically I turned into like a frozen statue because I noticed if I moved a little bit, I'd hear branches breaking above. And I think I'm like 1,000 feet in the air. So last thing I want is to go crashing down, right? So I'm hanging there. And the other thing I realized is I'm not on top of a tree. So, my chute did not go on top of, like, this is the tree right here. So here's two trees. I'm in between them. So my chute is just kind of in some branches, barely holding on. So I hang there, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30. I'm, doing a little praying. I don't know. I'm thinking of what I'm there. I'm done, right? I'm either going to die. I'm quitting. I don't know what. And so here's the problem. So you got these straps between your legs, right? You got the straps, this harness. And the problem is I've been hanging there now. I realize I can't feel my legs anymore. I can't feel my legs. Okay, because the weight of my body, the machine gun, all this. Can't feel my legs, and I can't feel, that, when I have kids one day, I can't feel any of it. So at this point, now I'm 18 years old, and I'm thinking, and I maybe 19 at this point. I think I'm too young to lose all that, especially that. No, ain't happening. So I got to man up. There's nobody else. I'm in the woods. I hear gunfire in the distance. Pop, 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 pop. They're duking it out against the bad guys. It's fake, but, we're duking it out. A bunch of guys out there. And, they told me to be tactical. Once you get in there, we got like a running password. Don't give. So I'm thinking I'm behind enemy lines. What if they catch me? So I can't scream out, help me. So I just, but everything's going numb. So first thing I do, I never lived this down. I'm desperate, though. I take my weapon, this heavy machine gun, I unclip it, boom, let go. Burns in. 1,000. I mean, I hear the thud below. It's way down there, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, I got to get over to one of these trees. Because, what am I going to do now? I'm still losing feeling here. I grab my riser. These straps go up to your chute. And I start pulling. I'm manning up, man. I'm pulling this thing. And what's happening is I'm swinging sideways, back and forth between these two trees, which are probably 20 feet apart, between the two. And I'm pulling. But the farther I swing like a pendulum, them branches are breaking. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm past the point of no return. Because if I stop at this point, am I going to break? So I just keep going. The faster I go, the more that are breaking. I finally get over one of these big old trees and I bear hug it. So you got to imagine, I'd stand up, but I got the thing hanging out. I'm hanging on this tree. I mean, bear hugging it. I mean, like a beast, but it's big. I mean, I'm like this, right? I'm not a big guy, so I'm like holding this thing. My risers are trying to pull me back out there. I got a death grip. I mean, I've got like claws. I mean, there must be an inch into the tree bark. And I hung on right there. And luckily, right next to there was a branch stick, a big branch. So what I did, you have this like quick release on your harness. I pulled that off and I wrapped it around that stick real quick and tied it off. So I had, now I'm kind of like tied to the tree and I'm being pulled back out in the middle. But at least I can rest down. So I'm like kind of hanging there. And this is where I sit for like another, 30 minutes, just chilling up there. I realized what the lights were. They were fireflies, thousands of them. It was almost something like out of Disney, like Avatar. I mean, they're just flooding around. I was like, man, this is... And in this half hour, I'm, waiting there. I hear a noise below. I hear all of a sudden I hear movement, bushes breaking. A couple of dudes are talking. I think, oh my God, it's the bad guys. How do I know who it is? I scream out, what am I taking, a POW? What? So I start doing this. I don't know. I saw it in a movie. So I start making these owl sounds. And I hear them. They're, hey, say, shh, we hear something. Shh. So they're like, hey, who's up there? They can't see me. It's pitch black. And I could recognize a voice, I think, or someone I was too scared. I said, it's Ranger Baker. That's my name, Baker. It's Ranger Baker. That's where a little bit of the shake and bake comes from. I just slipped there. So I was like, Ranger Baker. And they're like, what? They said, where are you, man? I said, I'm up in the tree. So they said, and there's a couple giggles, right? And they said, well, shine your flashlight down so we can kind of tell how high you are, right? So I had a flashlight. I pull this flashlight and I turn it on, flash it down towards them. I should have never done that. 2 reasons. One, I saw how high it was, which, I don't know, 150 feet? I mean, way up there. Insane. I must have hit the 2 tallest trees in the whole damn forest. Here's the best part. When they saw my light up there, how far up I was, the laughter that emitted from that forest, they said, oh my God, man, we have never seen anybody so high in a tree. And those guys laughed. They said, hey, we'll send you help back, man. Off they go to fight this battle. They leave me up there, right? Now I'm up here now almost 2 hours. And all of a sudden I hear the planes. Yeah. The planes that I jumped out of, they'd landed and let the Jeeps out. Taking off, leaving over my head, gone back to Georgia. So I thought, there's tears swelling up now. I think this is it. Will I live up on this tree and starve up here? Will they find me at 60 pounds, starved to death? So now I don't know what to do. So now maybe another 30 minutes pass. I'm sitting up there. At this point, I have no clue. I'm stiff as a board, scared to death. I hear some more noise in the bushes below. More noise is coming, right? I'm thinking they're sending a fire truck with the ladder, maybe even a helicopter with the Navy guys going to come get me. I don't know, because, I don't know what the Rangers are like. I'm thinking they're coming to save me, right? You know what they send out? They send out a staff sergeant and a medic. 2 people to get me down from this tree. 2 people to get me down from this 100-something foot tree, pitch black, brand new, 19, 18 years old, scared to death. So the guys say, hey, Ranger Battalion, right? So I shine the flashlight again. They start laughing. And the sergeant says, we're going to get you down. I said, how you going to do that? He says, we're going to talk you down. I said, you're going to talk me down? He says, that's right. I'll talk you down. Now get ready. He tells me, first off, this is what they train to teach you to do, right? Is you lower your reserve. So I pull my reserve, the chute drops down, but it only goes so far. It's not 20-something feet maybe. I don't remember. Not that far. And he says, get out of your harness. That's only he's holding me on this tree. Get out of your harness and shimmy down your reserve. Yeah. I said, I ain't doing that. Now, you got to imagine, you don't talk. Okay, let me just tell you, right, the little thing first. In the Ranger, especially then, I know it's like now. First of all, the sergeants are gods. I mean, I saw a dude beat down for even looking wrong at one, right? For me as a new guy, private duck, to say no, I mean, that's like a cardinal sin. But I was so scared I did. I said, no, I ain't doing it. He says, and I'm going to do some cussing here because I got to tell you what he said. I'm going to beep it out, but you'll be able to read my lips, I think. He said, grab your don't be a and I bleeped all that out because, but you can read my lips, right? That's what he says to me. And so now he's like challenging my manhood. I'm like, okay. And I said, you ain't the one up here. I actually said that to him. And then I started to unhook stuff. I started to slow it one strap at a time. I finally get it. And then that last one goes, right? The harness is going to get dragged back out in the middle, but I'm holding the reserve lines. Nothing's holding me this tree now. Nothing. If I slip, I'm probably shake and bake won't exist. I'm not making these videos. And so I have the tree. I got the reserve lines. I'm shimmying down a little bit. I didn't know I had a grip like that when you're scared, right? So I'm shimmying down. I make it to the end of the reserve. As far as it goes, another branch. I sit on the branch. There's nothing holding me on. My harness is above me. I'm at the bottom of the reserve. I have no clue how much farther I have to go. So they're like, okay, we're all right. Good job, Ranger Baker. We're just going to keep you going, right? And I'm like, all right. So I grab this tree. I'm not exact. This is all real, the real deal. Grab this tree. It's huge. I mean, it's huge. And I got the bark, and I got my feet dug in and my hands, and I start, I'm like inching down this baby, inch by inch, right? But you know how much strength that takes, energy to do that? And I would do that until I get to the next branch. I get to the next branch, I'd stop and rest for a couple minutes. And this went on, it seemed like forever. So I keep doing this, you're doing great. This tree was huge. As I keep going, I mean, you can only do this bear hugging, so I don't have a rope around the tree or nothing. I got jungle boots on, they're sliding. As I get farther towards the bottom, right? Farther, I start to slip. And I'm starting to, they scream out, you're almost at the bottom. Now, what does that mean to you? Almost at the bottom to me is like 5 feet, 6, maybe 7. That's at the bottom to me. So I hear this, and the bark is coming off. I'm making noise, scream. So I let go. I'm thinking 5 feet, I could take that. I'm young, I'm fit. I fell forever. I'm doing the Lynn Swan backward fall, and I hear them scream out, he's fallen! Run! These dogs run out of the way because they think I'm going to land and kill them. That's how I fell. At least, I don't know, 30-something feet all the way in. Boom, on my back. Luckily, under this pine tree, someone's looking out for me. It's all pine needles, like inches thick. I hit this on my back, bounce a little bit, knocks the air out of me, and I'm laying like a skunk or a squirrel on its back with my hands up in the air and my feet sticking straight up. And they come running back and they're like, oh my God, man, you all right? You all right? I'm in shock. I'm just laying there, right? Because I think I'm dead, right? And I got my hands up, my feet sticking straight up like this, straight up. And they said, move something. So I moved my fingers. I like start moving my fingers. They're like, no, move your body, man. So I move some arms, legs. I get up. I'm alive. I can. They're rolling, and I mean, I cannot believe. And they said, now this is the funny part. I'm just glad. Where's your weapon? I said, I don't know. I got rid of that like hours ago. The beatdown commenced. They were pissed. Found the weapon. Oh, I'm wrapping it up. We make it out of the woods, and the battle's over. The planes that were doing they were doing touchdowns. They take off, land, so they didn't leave me. Get up there, and as soon as I come up, here's that mean old squad leader. He looks at me, and other guys are behind him, and he looks at me. He's like, Ranger Baker, welcome to the Ranger Battalion. I'm glad you broke your cherry tonight. That is how I started off on the Rangers, and man, there was some wild things that happened with that. Maybe I'll share some more if you guys want to hear more. But that was my tree story, my first jump in the Army Rangers. And man, I'll never forget it. I'm just happy to be here and survive that for a lot of reasons. So, hey guys, again, thanks for the subs. Thanks for the likes. If you want more of these, I will do them. Cheers, peace, and you guys have a great night.